if I know the things I'm saying are causing people harm, I'm going to, and I want to consider myself a good person, as all of us do. I'm going to selectively choose what things I attend to and what things I don't.
It's the same thing that happens with Tater. Why do you have to be the defender of supremacy and the advocate for the oppressor, as you said?
If I'm telling a fact and you are hurt by a fact that I said, that's your problem. I can't lie because your feelings hurt because you're an immature adult that can't receive information. Y'all check this out. If you need custom shirts, hats, or gear, check out Pure Choice Apparel. You can pick your product, see the prices up front, upload your logo, and preview the design right on the website. No waiting around for salespeople or dealing with endless emails. We handle screen printing, embroidery, DTF printing, and even laser etching or laser engraving all under one roof. It's made right here in the United States of America, and we have the quickest turnaround that you can find. And also, if you're a business looking to outfit your employees, we got you covered. All you got to do is go to purechoiceapparel.com and check us out today. Only the weird ones that can't take accountability, that's tribal, talking about me, and you married to a white, look, put this fool on here. Hair falling out. All that jigging and stuff they doing, and him and his white man got his hair falling out. But, brother, you married to a white man, allegedly. Why you gotta be like you prioritize blackness over anything else? Why didn't you get a black man? Since you so black and it ain't always trying to good. Well, what that white man doing for the black community? Instead of, I would say he black community. That's what he's doing through you. All right, anyway, I'm trying not to be, y'all know I like to joke a little bit. Let's get to some of the stuff he said, these fools said about me. And this Elliot Connie guy, y'all saw that interview with him. He was so nervous. His voice was cracking. I'm like, bruh, if you didn't paint me to be a monster, you wouldn't get nervous interviewing me. I'm just a regular person, dude. I love the Lord. I love all people. I've been black my whole life. All right, let's pull it up real quick because I got 10 minutes before I got to get to something else. But let's play this clip. Don Lemon decided to talk about me again on his show with this guy, Elliot Connie. Roll the clip.
Back now with psychotherapist, Mr. Dr. Elliot Connie. He is also the host of the Family Therapy podcast.
Doctor?
Okay.
Not doctor, though. I'm a master's level.
Sorry. Okay.
Master degree. That's
Master.
Okay. Time out. Why am I joking about that? Because these people, they try to grandstand on this. I'm halfway through my master's degree at Grand Canyon University. I'm killing it in the industry where I'm getting my master's degree in, so I don't need to finish and pay money just to get a piece of paper. Business leadership is my master's degree at Grand Canyon University. I can fit, if I got 4 more classes or something, but I'm too busy winning to go back and get a piece of paper I don't need. But anyway, he act like his education is just so much far beyond what I graduated from the University of Arizona, a prestigious university, mind you, and I got my degree. And this fool want to get out here like he a doctor or something, like he got a doctorate and say, oh, Brandon don't know how to study. I know how to study, I got a degree. Degree in sociology, thematic minor. Africana studies is in my minor, and also communication in American Sign Language. I can communicate better than you can. But anyway, let him finish. Let him finish. Roll it.
I have watched probably more video on former Officer Tatum than anyone else. And I just had an hour-long conversation with him on my platform.
We're going to play that. We're going to play some of that coming up. But go ahead.
Yeah, but he never acknowledges your position. And he never says things like, oh, that's a good point. I hadn't considered that. Let me rethink. He doesn't do that. So whenever you see someone stonewalling to that degree, you have to ask yourself, why are they doing? Why does it feel like I'm talking to a brick wall when I am making evidence-based points backed by data and research? Why is he not accepting it?
Time out. Did we get that clip? We didn't get that clip. Maybe in post-production we'll do the clip. He's lying. You can go watch his show if you want to, kill some of your brain cells. But you go on the show and see what I said. He claims, oh, Brandon never accepts it. He says that he saw a firsthand racism on the police department. He won't concede to what I'm saying. Why don't you change what you? I said I've never experienced racism on the police department. I've never had any racist cops that I've worked with, and no, I have never heard of a cop talk about this. It's so not prevalent on the police department. We don't even talk about this kind of stuff. It is unacceptable to be a racist on the police department. Are there racist cops? Yeah, it does. Racist everybody. Black, white, you name it, racist, ignorant. People out here, flock cameras. You got cops cutting up. So they be cutting up, but this is not prevalent. He gave an example. I said, all right, I have never experienced this. He tried to tell me that I can't say I never experienced it. I said, but you said you experienced it. Give me your example. I'm willing to hear your side of it. That's what I said. They can't and then his example of racism on the police department, which I cannot verify. Hopefully he can give me evidence of it, but I'll take his word for it. A white man chastising another white man for being disrespectful to black children, and the white man who was chastised admitted he was wrong. You just proved my point that is so infrequent that even when it happened, a white man is chastising another white man for daring to do it. But Brandon Tatum won't concede. When your points are not good, I'm not going to concede to your points just because you trying to be a doctor. Roll the clip.
He's also doing is what we refer to as confirmation bias. He's taking one thing and he's like latched onto that one thing and allowing that one thing to be the blanket thing.
No, I have a fact, and you don't have enough evidence to overcome the fact, so I'm sticking with the fact. These people are crazy, man. Here, this is another one. Roll it.
I don't know what I think of the interview. I'll have to take some time to think about it. What I can tell you is I think every single term that I brought up, naive realism, internalized racism, I think all of those terms are accurate. Moral disengagement. Moral disengagement is if I know that things I'm saying are causing people harm, I'm going to, and I want to consider myself a good person, as all of us do, I'm going to selectively choose what things I attend to and what things I don't.
Time out. During this interview, me and this brother, this is why these people are so disingenuous. During this interview, he said, do you feel bad for the things you say that hurt people? I'm like, bro, that's such a blank. What you mean hurt people? You mean physically hurt people? You mean emotionally hurt people? I said, well, first of all, if somebody came to me, I said this in the interview, somebody came to me and expressed how something that I said actually tangibly hurt them, depending on what I actually said, I'm willing to retract or take back or reframe what I said if it genuinely hurt somebody, because that's not my intention. I said that on his show. But I said also, if I'm telling a fact and you are hurt by a fact that I said, that's your problem. I can't lie because your feelings hurt because you're an immature adult that can't receive information. This is what I say on his show. And he says that I'm unwilling to, I guess, have empathy for people if I'm saying something that's hurtful. You just a dude, and you think, well, if I say this black person's wrong and black people get offended, that's not my problem. I guess you would not tell a black person if they're wrong because you're afraid it's gonna hurt people's feelings. That's insanity. Roll the clip.
And he is doing all of the things. And I wanted to have this conversation, quite honestly, for that reason. I am a mental health professional. It's what I do. I've been listening to Mr. Tatum this whole time, and I've been hearing it through a clinical lens. And I can see not just the grift, but I can see how he's doing it. So what was important to me to do today was to have a conversation where you could see what he's doing in real time. You saw him move. I was very intentional about every single word I said. I was very intentional about letting him talk when he spoke, but you watch him, he clearly does not know how to digest research. You don't just take two contrarian pieces of research and say, oh, these two things disagree, then all I have to go into my lived experience. That is not true.
Okay, all of this is public because he put it out on the social media. That's not my explanation of digesting research. This fool said he has a particular item of research. I said, I haven't been able to evaluate the research. So I can't agree to something that hasn't been evaluated. You cannot concede to research without validating it. So I said, for the sake of argument, I'm going to validate your research. And the other research that I have, I validate that research because I've already been able to validate it. So I'll have your research, my research. Let's just say that they both are valid and they're contrary to one another. You have to go off of you can utilize your lived experience to lean one towards the other. For instance, if you're a person who spanks your kids every time they do something you don't like, right? You spank them, and you do not see positive results from spanking your children. There's researchers that say that spanking your children is effective. There's researchers that say that spanking your children is ineffective. Which one do you lean towards? Well, you go, well, my personal experience with spanking my children is that it doesn't work. I lean more towards the research that says that spanking your children is not working. That's if both of them are validated, which means if you're going to do research, there are people that do research in a biased manner. So you may have people that agree with this research, but they did not do a balanced research. It's still actual people that are having examples that are agreeing with it that may be enough to validate it. Let me just give you an example. If somebody was saying that they're eating bananas before working out is a thing, and you have a person that say eating bananas before working out is not a positive thing. If you interview certain people that have eaten bananas and you do a sample size of it or whatever the case may be, you talk to scientists and researchers. Let me do a better example. COVID. Well, you have people that are saying COVID-19 is this, and this. They forced it down our throats. These are people that are legitimately, quote unquote, legitimate scientists, legitimate virologists that are saying this is the worst thing that ever happened, blah, 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 blah. Then you have others that are saying this is completely false. mRNA vaccines are wrong. They're bad for you. Blah, blah, blah. These two things can be validated. The CDC validated some of this research that were contradicted. And now what has come out is that the side that the CDC took was wrong. But at the time, the source material and all was accepted as prominent research to draw from. Hospitals used it. Medical professionals used it. This side had a legitimate approach too. So what I'm saying is that a person can do research on both sides and be legitimized, but that does not mean that you have to say, with both being legitimate, I'm just going to pick this one or not. You got to go off of your lived experience. If you're a professional and you're giving people vaccines and they're all dying, and you got research that says that they won't die because of the vaccine, you got to say, well, maybe the research is incorrect. The research that's saying that people are dying due to vaccines, I'm watching it happen in real time. Anyway, let's get to the next clip. And then I got to move. Row.
There's a really interesting thing that he's not able to do, which I find psychologically incredibly fascinating. When he sees a successful black man, he says there must not be discrimination because discrimination must mean black people can't become successful. He doesn't understand. For example, he did an interview on Jubilee and he said, raise your hand if being black stopped you from being successful.
Time out.
Well,
that fool said that he watched all of my videos. This is what he said at the beginning. I watch it more than anybody. He just made that up. I never said anything like that. And he made up a false premise. I've never said that when I see a black person successful, I think discrimination don't exist. My whole premise is that discrimination can't stop you. I'm not saying people don't discriminate against you. He knows that's not my premise. I said it on his show. But they can't accept that. They have to be victims. I said discrimination, people discriminate against people all the time in multiple facets, whether it's race, whether it's looks, whether people discriminate against you. But racial discrimination won't stop you from doing nothing in your life. So he was wrong on the first premise, and then he claimed that in the Jubilee thing that I said, go back to what he said, being black has anything to do with success or not. Go back and play it.
I find psychologically incredibly fascinating. When he sees a successful black man, he says there must not be discrimination because discrimination must mean black people can't become successful. He doesn't understand. For example, he did an interview on Jubilee and he said, raise your hand if being black stopped you from being successful.
Time out. raise your hand if being black stops you from being successful. Let's roll the clip of Jubilee. He said, if being black stops you from being successful. Y'all heard that, ladies and gentlemen? This is why you can't trust these people. Listen to what I said. Raise your hand if there's white supremacy has stopped you from being successful in America.
I'd just like to say that...
Time out. Had nothing to do with being black. I said that's white supremacy, and then these people, and I'll play it another time, I should actually go over it. They go on to talk about anecdotal one-off things, and let's go to the guy at the very end, because he's a summation of everything that everybody said. Listen to what this fool said at the very end, the guy that I'm sitting across from with the professor that said he was an educator.
I have experienced discrimination. The reason I responded no to your question was if it held me back. No, it didn't hold me back because I fought against the discrimination, but I was discriminated against when I was looking for housing, when I was trying to get my master's degree. One guy even told me it's not because you're black. When I saw a bunch of white people, he did not want to give me housing. I was also targeted by the police on multiple occasions. And then 2 weeks after Donald Trump became president, I was on my lunch break at my job and a white guy drove past me and yelled white power. He was emboldened because of Trump's rhetoric, and that I've been called the N-word just walking on the street multiple times by white people who feel emboldened by Trump's rhetoric. And so I have struggled against difficult odds, but it hasn't stopped me because there's something inside of me that is determined to succeed, and it's because I want to help people. I want to be that person that I did not have.
What are we saying? I went on a thing and I said, raise your hand if white supremacy or whatever stop you from being successful. None of them said that it stopped them from being successful. They talk about somebody calling the N-word. Somebody wrote down a window and say, F you N-word, like you lose your job if they yell at you for saying. How does that's a word, N-word. Black people call each other N-word every day, but you hear a white person, somehow it hit different. I can't make it in life because a white person said the same thing that Drake been saying on all his songs that I listen to every day. All right, this is the last video. These people are insane. They are so disingenuous. And they have to be because they got a black man like me who's not a victim that's effective. White supremacy and racism can't stop you from doing nothing in modern America. Nothing, not one thing. And I said on his show, I said this in Jubilee, I'm not saying that discrimination don't exist. I'm saying it's not gonna affect you. It's not effective enough to stop you from doing anything. It's not the success measure of black people in the black community. I said the same thing with racism and policing on his show. There's racist cops out there. There's racist people in everything. But it's so rare that your example was that a white man chastised another white man. All right, last clip, roll it.
So you can have a conversation like that, because if I spoke to Stephen A. Smith, if we got into an argument like that, or we start speaking to each other like that, no one's going to listen. We're going to be talking over each other, right? Yelling. But if you're like, hey, look, with all due respect, let me just say this. I'm not, saying that is bad, but this is just my opinion of whatever. And I think that would have worked better. And I think that's what people are. But the other thing, too, is, which is the same thing that happens with Tater. Every opportunity that you can take to defend someone else rather than someone else, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Why do you have to be?
Do you know why he didn't say what he said? Because it sounds crazy. He said the reason you take to defend someone else instead of someone else. What he mean is you defend white people instead of black people. That's what he's saying. But if the white man is back there, let me not say it. I was going to say the white man back there oiling it up. You better not say nothing crazy. The white man going to do something to you. You got the white man in the back room talking about why you defending white people over black people. Marry a white man over a black man. All right, regardless of that. It's not about defending white versus black. It's right versus wrong. If a black man wrong, he wrong. If the white man right, he right. I ain't gonna pick the black man because he black. Roll the clip. Let's finish.
The defender of supremacy and the advocate for the oppressor, as you said, and criticizing, you always the critic of your own.
But there's a
I
clear
think
answer
that's
to
what-
that. There's a
Yeah.
very clear answer to that. One of the things they're both very, very good at is getting clicks and views. And they're both very good at understanding
Come on.
what audiences am I catering to get clicks and views.
Come on.
Another thing is they've both created characters.
Come on.
And as we know, the longer you play the character, the more blurred line becomes between
All right.
you and the character.
So let's get to clicks and views. He go clicks and views. Dude, I got millions of people that follow me, hundreds of thousands of black people. I get more black people coming to me on the streets and say, I love your content more than any other race at this point. It used to be a bunch of white. It's been more black people now. All right, come on. Look at his views. I'm doing this for clicks. I went on your show. I got more. I got 3 million. I don't even know what multiplication number that'd be. He got 35,000 subscribers. I got 3.5 million subscribers. My video on his channel is his biggest grossing, biggest highly sought out video of all. 111,000 in 3 days. He did one 6 days ago, 21,000. Let's go to his other views. What does that say? Grant, can you read them to me? Read his views. We'll go from left to right, top to bottom.
It looks like 813.
Yeah, no. Make sure it's clear. 800, not 800,000.
Yes, sir.
800 views. Okay.
Then one day ago, 41 views. Then
41 views, bro.
770 from 2 hours ago. It looks like 770 views from 3 hours ago. Then Brandon Tatum, 4,000 views from 4 hours ago. Then 104 views from 5 hours ago, 228 views from 6 hours ago, 6,000 from 3 days ago, and then 14,000 from ago. Yeah, hot.
But I'm the one grifting. I didn't get no money from that interview you did with me. That's your most prominent interview. Remember, old boy said he wasn't gonna say my name no more. Don Lemon. He's still talking about me. They ain't call me Tater. The gayest term he can do is Tater. You would say Tater. Dude, can you come with something gangster? Officer Taters. Get your gay. All right, I ain't gonna say that. I love gay people. I love y'all. But he just weird. He can't be a normal. He gotta be a weird one. Anyway, I'll finish it with this. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I got a meeting real quick that I have to do. After the meeting, me and Grant gonna do a real quick post-show clarity. We gonna talk post-show. We just, decompress, talk about things that I normally don't talk about on my show, random stuff here and there. So if you're a member, you have access to it. So join me when we come back. You can watch it. Go watch the rest of them too, since you already have access to them. But ladies and gentlemen, my wife she tell me sometimes, she go, don't give these people airtime. I love doing it. I love getting my voice out there and watching them melt down in the middle of the street because they're not genuine. I'm as big and prominent as I am because I'm genuine, because I'm authentic, because I'm a reasonable human being. Anybody can watch my content. I don't cuss in my content. I'm fair in my content. That's why white and black people love me. The problem with these people is that you go look in their description section, your comment section, it's all black. Nothing but black people. And they try to say I'm the one that's pitching to a certain audience. Give me a break, brother.